thanks for coming by and welcome to my very first sketchbook tour. The reason why this is my very first sketchbook tour is because I'm terrible at filling up sketchbooks. In fact, the only thing that gave me a little bit of confidence was this SMLT hashtag authentic book. I only had 12 pages in it, so this will be a brief tour. Let's begin. So this may look like a simple little landscape, but it started out as an abstract piece that ended up looking like this stormy sky over a green prairie. I have a video of it. I'll link it up below, or up above, so you can see it if you like. And it was pretty fun. I think it was the first abstract piece I did for my channel, although I'm not sure. Things got a little more fun with this. There is a tube of paint that I absolutely love. It's an indigo watercolor, and even though I use gouache most of the time, this indigo color tends to have a really solid foundation. In some of my pieces, I don't know, it just gets me excited to do things. It's a nice, deep, rich color. And this piece was just a really great exercise in transitioning from one shape to another shape, from one piece of the page to the other, and it worked out really well for what I wanted. So I would definitely give this piece a good 8 out of 10 as far as my abstracts go. This abstract was a little less successful, I think. It started off really cool. I did some great mark making, but I don't think the composition is very successful. And I think I could have improved upon it. I could always go back and improve upon it some more. Or I could just leave it and learn that not every piece is going to be successful, because that is pretty reasonable. This piece got a lot of excitement on Instagram. Again, I started out with an indigo and then a burnt sienna. Did some nice marks. These streaks come across, you know, when you do some dripping to get some random natural-ish shapes in there. And that's something I tend to lean on a little bit when I want some direction. So when I can't come up with a direction naturally, I just do some drips down the page, do something a little random. Maybe I'll throw some spatter in there and then work from there. I'll be doing a lot more process style voiceovers. So if you're interested in creating complex, busy abstracts, then you can, learn from how I do them. This one I'm not happy with at all. I don't have a lot of contrast in here. The transitions are okay. If you break up the page, you can definitely get that each quadrant has its own little story happening, which is what I really like and what I would really consider a successful piece. I'm not sure that I enjoy the colors and how they play off of each other, and but I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, this one, I challenged myself to be a little bit more organic and try to create more of a organic feel by not using straight lines, by trying to capture what might be under a microscope or something. I did, in this video, I did come in and start using colored pencils. Towards the end, I needed something to tie it all together, and I brought in these colored pencils that resemble the background color to add some excitement to the shapes, to the orangish, creamy shapes. I would probably like to see a little bit more contrast in this one, but not much. I think it's a pretty successful piece. This one is very much looks like an overhead of a city or some sort of map sequence, which a lot of mine do look like, electric maps or electronic maps or city maps. Yeah, the quadrants all look different, which is good. It's this purple that I really don't like. It looks like straight from the tube purple, and I think I could have chosen something a little less, I don't know, in your face. I think I could have went with a little more subtle of a dark contrasting color. My favorite piece is coming up next here. This one, it is my favorite in this whole book because it happened so organically, and it was a journey to get to here from where it started, which was, you know, a really messy, completely different composition before it got to this part, or before it turned into this. I recommend watching the video. I'll put a card up above there for you. But it was really fun. It was a way to change or fix a mistake. So this one was really successful to me. It really is dynamic and creative, and of course the quadrants are all different and tell a different story. And I really liked the way it came together, and it was almost like magic. It came together very magically. But this is another piece I'm not extremely thrilled with, but I mean, that's part of the process, right? We sit down and create a piece, and if it's all comes together, that's wonderful, and if it doesn't, we have to learn from it. So this was a use of grids and a very square line. I tried to throw in some of those organic mishaps to sort of give me more direction. It wasn't very successful, but I mean, in general, I think it's an okay piece to be in my sketchbook. Wouldn't hang it on the wall, but it was a learning. I don't know that I could have carried on to get it to where I was happy with, so I just sort of stopped. Now this one there's no video for. I usually video everything, but this was just a little bit of play in my sketchbook, and working with the brush or the mark making that I typically do, with the sort of rhythmic mark making of these straight, squarish little shapes, and then trying to build it into a portrait, which meh, I don't know, not quite successful. This one, another one of my favorites. The colors worked out really well. The rhythm was natural. It all came together. This one I turned into a video kind of sharing my process about how I start a piece and how I work through a piece. I mean, that was how I worked through this piece. It's all very different, of course, but I really like the busyness. I like how the colors play off of each other. And at the end, I came in with some colored pencils to add what I thought was missing, which was some abrupt little lines and marks that added some more contrast to the whole piece. I tried to not reproduce in exactness, but sort of do this technique again with some different colors to see how successful I would be. So this was an okay one. I don't know if the video is out on this one or not. I've got a kind of a whole bunch of them sitting in my computer waiting to be edited and put out. And I think what I'll try to do is do some more like voiceovers, talking about processes or what I think or what I feel or stuff like that. This is my first talking video, so I'm not quite sure what I'll think when I do the editing, but I think it's going okay. Anyways, this is the last piece in my sketchbook. Again, made some really nice transitions. The quadrants all look good. The colors played well off of each other. And I did come in again with the colored pencil afterwards to sort of add some busyness and some excitement to it. Not that it needed much excitement, but I just wanted to add that little bit more. And thanks to these nice non-intimidating sketchbooks, I have actually completed my very first sketchbook in all of my years on this planet, I have never actually completed a sketchbook from cover to cover. Not that I haven't started very many of them, but for some reason I have a hard time finishing sketchbooks. So the book itself, SMLT, watercolor, hashtag authentic book. The paper was fine. You'll see in some of my videos that even though I did use a delicate tape, it did pull up some of the edging, but I mean, that doesn't bother me too much. It would if it was a commission piece, but it wasn't. So, and I would be a lot more careful lifting the tape. But anyways, thanks for watching. I hope that you are enjoying what you're seeing on my channel. I hope to, in general, just inspire people to go be bold and be creative in their choices, and you know, share some of that excitement and creativity with them, with you. So anyways, be bold, be creative, have a good day.